What's up, everybody? Be sure to subscribe to Say What I Mean channel. Like the video if you like what I'm saying, because I'm going to be pumping out constant content. Now, let me fix this camera a little bit. Now, I've just made a video. I was almost done, and it's funny how things work out. Nobody had called me all the day, right? I haven't had one call all day. I'm on lunch right now, right? And of course, when I try to make a video, somebody called me and messed up my video. So now I got to start over because right now I'm not at enough subscribers where I can just go live and wouldn't have that problem. So, of course that figures, but it's okay. I just want to follow up with the video I made yesterday, right? I did the preview of the Democratic debate and I'm following up now. I have a lot of thoughts. Also, I want to preview tonight's debate as well. Now, first of all, CNN and the media. I dislike how the media cover politics in general, but especially CNN. I think it really showed last night. Now, it's clear that CNN didn't care at all about policy, not even a little bit. Their whole point was creating drama. It was all about drama and not about policy. The way they framed some of these questions was disgusting to me, very disgusting. For instance, you had the framing with the first strike policy with nukes that they asked Elizabeth Warren, where they was kind of trying to goat her to say that, okay, we're not going to take off nuking a country first, which is, to me, is crazy because, nuclear war can basically end us as a species. Crazy, crazy. I get into that a little bit later, though. When they asked Bernie Sanders how is he different from Trump because he want to withdraw from Afghanistan and he voted against the Iraq War, and Trump said that during the 2016 election. What type of shitty ass question is that? What type of question is that? First of all, if you go back to 2016, yes, Trump did say that, but Trump said a lot of things. Trump, depending on what day you get him, Trump will be on all sides of every issue. Yes, he did say that the Iraq War was stupid in 2016, although he didn't say that when the Iraq War first popped off. He also said that he would pull out the Iran nuclear deal, and he was being really hawkish on Iran. So he said a lot of different stuff in 2016. So, I mean, just a little bit of honest reporting would have you would have came to that conclusion. So that kind of made me mad. Not a lot of policy questions. The type of question they asked was like, for example, Congressman Delaney, do you think Bernie Sanders' healthcare plan would bankrupt the country? That's basically the type of questions they was asking. But let me go into the debate specifically. They spent a lot of time on healthcare, which was needed. I didn't like a lot of the questions, but they did spend a bunch of time on it. Basically, the candidates debating and articulating their positions. I thought Elizabeth Warren was very strong. I thought Bernie Sanders was strong. Um, Here's what they do, though. When it comes to taxes, right? And I think the candidates and the media need to be better in this aspect, right? So they asked, the question was, okay, would taxes go up in a Medicare for all system? And of course it would. Of course it would. But Elizabeth Warren don't like to say that. Bernie Sanders don't like to say it. So the way Elizabeth Warren would answer it is that yes, taxes will go up for the rich and for the average American, the middle class. Overall, you'll pay less. And they kept pressing her like, but will taxes go up? But she wouldn't clearly answer that question. I think the simple way to answer it is yes, taxes will go up, but you won't pay premiums and you won't pay deductibles. And, so your out of pocket cost, you're not going to have the out of pocket cost, but taxes will go up. Now, I think the media need to do a better job too, because even when the candidates is not there, they always frame it as taxes gonna go up, but always leave out the part that it's not going to be premiums, it's not going to be deductibles, and that's really frustrating to me, because to me that's not honest reporting. So I think both need to do better. As far as the talking points, like Tim Ryan was hitting on, that Medicare for All is going to take away private insurance from unions, and how that's so messed up. I actually do agree with Bernie Sanders that for most people, I think the Medicare for All system would be better. Is it guaranteed to be better than every single union private plan? Probably not. And they keep talking about that you're taking away choice for people. You're taking them off their private insurance. Well, I got news for people, man. Like, this is not like, the 1960s. It's not, people is not staying in their jobs for like 30, 40 years anymore, just retiring. If you switch jobs, you lose your health insurance, and you go on a new plan. We don't really got choice now. So, like, either you lose your insurance or you go to the marketplace, and the marketplace is not that cheap, to be honest. I looked at insurance on a marketplace before. It's not the cheapest options. So it's not like we got a lot of choice now. And also, for example, I'll give you a quick little anecdote. Me and my wife went out of town a few years ago. She had an allergic reaction, had to go to the emergency room. The insurance wouldn't cover it because it was out of network. So you got stuff like that going on, and you could tell, like, the people at CNN and most people in the media, because I think they pretty well off, don't experience these type of problems and are really against the Medicare for All system. Now, let me go on to Marianne Williams. I think she had a strong debate, but particularly on healthcare, I thought she was weak. It's not just because she said she disagreed with a Medicare for All system, which is, to me, is okay. That's cool, depending on your alternative, because I'm not like some people on the left, or some progressives where it's Medicare for all or nothing. In my opinion, there are other options. Like, but it just depends on the details. For instance, like, if you go and do a plan kind of like they got in Singapore, where they have kind of cap controls and price controls on private insurance, and they have to meet a certain threshold. But there is a strong public option there. They got a few different options there. I think they got three different government programs there, and they pay a lot less than us. I think in 2000, when the U.S. was ranked 37th in healthcare, Singapore is ranked sixth. So if you do a system like that, depending on the details, maybe I could get behind it if it's price control with a strong public option, maybe. But that's not what Marianne Williams did. She just said that, you know, I really don't really agree with it. She was very weak in her answer on that. That probably was her weakest moment with a strong debate. Now, moving on. Mayor Pete Buttigieg, or Buttigieg, however you pronounce it. I'm not a fan of him. If you watched the video before this, I think I made that known. With that being said, I think he had a pretty good debate. He had a few lines that I liked. I like when he said that no matter what our policies are, the conservatives and Republicans are going to label us socialists. So we might as well just come out what we really believe in, whether it's a moderate policy, or whether it's a policy to the left. I thought that was a strong answer. He had a few other lines that I think was pretty good as well. Um, his answer about the situation in Indiana, to me, still leave a lot to be desired. When they asked him about the police force in South Bend, Indiana, again, he gave a similar answer. Not is nowhere near satisfying to me. So is really nothing he can do, because I think he messed up from the start with firing the black police chief, from not taking racial discrimination within the department seriously. So to me, like I said, he's automatically disqualified. But when I watch debates, I try to be as objective as possible. So, objectively speaking, in all the other areas, I think he performed strongly. Now, again, CNN, the way to ask the questions, right? So, if I was a moderator, let's get to policies and specifics they get because they don't like Medicare for all. They get like, okay, is taxes going to rise? Are you going to raise taxes? But because like a lot of people in national media like Mayor Pete, they don't ask the questions that need to be asked. One of the questions that need to be asked is, why didn't you follow up on all the racial discriminations? Because it's out there. It's been reported over and over. I'm like, I'm not making this up. This is not a secret. They should know this, but they don't ask the question about firing the black police chief when he came in. They don't ask the question about him not taking racial discrimination seriously within the department. They just focus on the last incident where an unarmed black man was killed. It goes much deeper than that. So I'm off that though for now. All right. Again, I think I already kind of mentioned how bad the framing was with foreign policies, with the nukes, um, and what they asked Bernie Sanders. So I'm going to skip that part and go on to black issues. Now, being that they was in Detroit, I thought that they could have spent more time addressing black issues. But with that being said, some of the candidates I thought did a really good job when they did get the opportunity to speak on it. I thought Elizabeth Warren did a good job in explaining some of the plight in the black community, and also using the phrase white supremacy, which very few politicians and people in the media rarely do. And I thought that was necessary, so I give her props for that. And again, if you look at Elizabeth Warren policy issues, I think she has some pretty good policies that will help close the wealth gap and will actually help black people as a whole, but I thought Beto O'Rourke, and I'm not a big fan of Beto, but I thought he did really well when addressing racial issues, mentioning how we need to get a new voting rights bill. And I think people don't talk about this enough because they constantly trying to roll back rights that black people have gained in this country. When the Supreme Court overturned Article 5 of the Voting Rights Act, um, they said, oh, it would make no difference. And of course it did. But that's what happens when conservatives win and you put conservative judges on the three courts, the appeal court, appellate court, and Supreme Court. The two lower courts is also important too, that we don't spend enough time. I'm going to get into that later, though, in another video. But, once they overturn that portion of the Rights Act, you see all these voter ID laws coming out, trying to do whatever they can to stop large numbers of black people from voting. So I do like the fact that Beto brought that up. I like the fact that he brought up HR 40. He was the first candidate to bring that up, and he supposedly say that we need to pass HR 40, and I clap for that. For those of you who don't know, HR 40 is the Reparation Commission bill in the House of Representatives. It's I know some people feel different ways about it because people say that it don't need to be a commission. Just pay what you owe, like Riley for the Boondocks said in that episode when he was chasing Santa. Yeah, pay what you owe. That's what a lot of people are just trying that feel like that, and I understand that. I don't necessarily mind a commission if it's not bullshit, and that's what we gotta be mindful of. Is the commission gonna be bullshit? Because I wouldn't mind, you know, a study like, okay, what's the best way to allocate reparations? Should it be a strict cash payment? Could it be other things that would be more beneficial as a whole? I'm a little bit open to that. Again, I always say this. You're gonna hear me say this a lot. It depends on the details. But he brought up HR 40, and I think he did a good job of understanding some black issues. And he did a good job when he ran for Senate in Texas, defending the national anthem protests. I think he does. He shine in that area. One of the reasons I'm not a big fan of him and I won't support him is I don't think he's strong enough to win. Um, because when he first came about and he went viral for defending Kaepernick, I was like, okay, I started checking out his Senate race a little bit more, and I despised Ted Cruz, so I was really rooting for him to win. And I watched his first debate with Ted Cruz, and I was thoroughly unimpressed. And like I said, I always try to be objective. I wanted Beto to win very badly, and I despised Ted Cruz, but Ted Cruz mopped the floor with him in that debate. I mean, it wasn't close. He didn't lay a finger on Ted Cruz. And like I said, I despise Ted Cruz, but he clearly beat Beto in the first debate. Um, and just last debate, he showed like when he get attacked, I don't think he's that strong in counterattacks. So I think if he would get the nomination, and he won't because he's very low in the polls right now. I think he had a chance coming out, but he stumbled, made several mistakes. But if he would somehow get the nomination, I think Trump will rip him apart. I don't think he's sharp enough or strong enough to defeat Trump. Although Trump is dumb as fuck, Trump um, is a despicable human being. One thing that he is good at, he's good at creating headlines, and sometimes he can be good at little one-liners or insults. I don't think Beto is strong enough to withstand that. Some people try to compare him to Obama. No, Obama, I thought was too weak while he was actually in office, but during the two campaigns, Obama was very strong in campaigning. Especially in 2012, he ripped Mitt Romney apart that entire campaign. Because if you go back to that time, he was around 50%, maybe 49% approval rating. He's a lot more popular now, but people thought it was a real chance that he could lose that election. He ran a super aggressive campaign, so he knew how to fight. Even though Obama did have the first debate with Mitt Romney, he did very bad, but the two other debates he won. So Obama knew how to fight when the time came, and under pressure, Obama performed best, in my opinion, when a little bit of pressure got put on him. I don't agree with a lot of the policies, decisions he made while he was president, but Obama was a unique and generational politician. So you got to stop comparing these people to Barack Obama. Barack Obama, whether you like his policies or not, and like I said, I disagree with a lot of his policies. He was a super talented politician. So stop comparing these dudes to Barack Obama. But that's why I wouldn't support Beto. I know that was a long-winded way of just saying that I wouldn't support Beto. But who really shined in discussing black issues is my girl Marianne Williamson. Now, I'm not surprised. Marianne, she started off her campaign saying how she supports reparations. Again, like I said yesterday, the numbers I think should be higher, but like it's a start and we can negotiate with that. And it's not just what she said about reparations. It's about her. She was the first candidate to bring up the Flint water situation, and she mentioned how that would not happen in Grosse Pointe, a well-to-do white community. She mentioned that. She brought that up. Very strong points, and I think she does the best of any candidate out there when discussing race. Excuse me, when discussing race. I feel like she really understands the plight. I feel like she's genuine with it. I know some people question whether she's sincere or not. I feel she is, and even if she wasn't, I still think we need these views in the mainstream. So I think we need her in the next debate. I might donate to her campaign to try to help make sure that she's in the next debate because we need people to bring up these issues as strongly and as passionately as Marianne does. Every candidate need to talk about black issues as strongly as Marianne Williamson do. So, and one of the things I need to address, and I will address this in a later video about some of the splits I see between like ADOS, younger black people, and some of the people on progressive left, because I was listening to some of the debates reviews, and some people on the left, because she didn't give a good answer on Medicare for all, wasn't really trying to hear nothing else she had to say, and kind of dismissed her. I'm like, no, she killed it. Like, because I'm on black side, I talk to black people. Every black person that heard what she said in the debate that I talked to anyway, I'm not going to speak for all black people, but loved her answer. Absolutely loved her answer because she killed it. After the debate, she became the most searched candidate on Google. So that should tell you something. Marianne killed it, and she continuously is doing a good job in discussing uh, the issue of race. Like I said, I don't know if I would actually like really support her to get the nomination, because like her her not liking plans kind of worries me. But when it comes to race, like I said, there's nobody better. There's nobody better right now that's running in the Democratic field. So that's basically my thoughts on the debates. Now, the second debate is tonight, and I'm expecting more of the same from CNN. I'm not expecting any real policy discussions. I feel like they're gonna do something similar as they did the previous night. I feel like they're going to create drama between Biden, Kamala, and Cory Booker, because I think Cory Booker, they kind of telegraphed how he's going to come out after Biden. I think Tulsi Gabbard is going to come out after Kamala Harris, because she just said that she wasn't qualified, which I had a problem with. I actually liked a lot of things about Tulsi Gabbard. I like um, how she against interventionist wars. I think that's a plus. I think she didn't have some courage. She just showed real courage in fighting on some issues that I believe in. Um, she also a co-sponsor of HR 40, the reparations bill in the House. But you gotta be careful. And I'm not even a huge Kamala Harris fan, because I think her record as Attorney General is abysmal. I think she have a terrible record as Attorney General in California. So I'm not the biggest fan, but like, to say that she's not qualified kind of rubbed me the wrong way, like, because she's the only black woman in there. So she's not qualified, but Pete Buttigieg is qualified. How is Buttigieg, mayor of a smaller city, any more qualified than somebody that was the attorney general of a state and is a current U.S. senator? You know, how she's not qualified, but Joe Biden, who been wrong on almost every important issue for decades, but he's qualified. So it kind of rubbed me the wrong way. And she didn't had a few votes that I wasn't feeling lately as well. Even though overall I do like her more than most people do, but that kind of rubbed me the wrong way. Um, I wish I could tell you that the questions would get better, but they probably won't. It might even be more drama, with even less focus on the issues. I know they're gonna press Kamala about her new healthcare plan. They're gonna talk to Biden about his comments about segregation again, and Biden probably gonna be a little bit more aggressive. But I don't know. I can't wait till a lot of these candidates drop out, and we can get to the main candidates and actually do a thorough comparison. But that's my thoughts for now. I'll be back with my thoughts for the debate tomorrow. And I don't know. Sometimes this can be discouraging, because, like, I feel like, I'm one of the few people that actually focusing on policy and not the drama. And the media make it so people don't care about politics, in my opinion. It's just so disappointing. But anyway, like I said, don't forget to subscribe, share the channel, and peace.